The family came from the narrow backstreets of Cebu City, where houses were made of thin wood and tin roofs sang loudly when it rained. Every morning, the children woke up early to help their mother before school, selling vegetables. The bright lights of the Ireland's Got Talent stage felt blinding as the family stepped forward, holding their worn instruments tightly. Their clothes were simple, slightly faded, and clearly not made for television. A soft murmur moved through the audience, curiosity mixed with doubt. People whispered, wondering who these poor immigrants were and how they had found their way onto such a grand stage. The judges studied them carefully. Simon Cowell leaned back in his chair, arms folded, his face serious and unreadable. One judge tilted their head with concern, while another offered a polite but cautious smile. Years of auditions had taught them to protect their emotions. They had heard many sad stories before. The eldest sibling spoke into the microphone, voice trembling but respectful. "We are a family band from Cebu City, Philippines. We live here in Ireland now. We are very poor, but music is everything to us." The accent was thick, the words slow, but every sentence carried weight. Then came the reason. "Our mother is fighting cancer," the youngest said softly, glancing backstage where she waited. "This song is for her." The room changed. The audience fell into a deep, heavy silence. No phones moved. No one whispered. One judge pressed a hand to their chest. Simon shifted forward slightly, his arms loosening, eyes narrowing, not with judgment, but with focus. "You don't have to impress us," one judge said gently. "Just sing from your heart." The family nodded. They gathered close, forming a small circle as they prepared. Fingers shook as they touched the strings. One quiet breath was shared between them, a breath filled with fear, hope, and love. The music had not started yet. But already, something powerful was in the air. And everyone in that room felt it. The first note was barely louder than a whisper. A soft guitar string trembled through the theater, raw and imperfect, followed by a fragile harmony that sounded more like a prayer than a performance. The family's voices blended together, untrained, unpolished, but painfully honest. It was the sound of hunger, cold nights, and hope that refused to die. The lyric spoke of a mother waking before sunrise, hiding her pain behind a smile, giving everything even when she had nothing left. They sang about Cebu City's dusty streets, about children learning strength too early, and about love that survives sickness. Every word landed like a quiet truth no one could escape. Halfway through the song, the lead singer's voice cracked. He didn't stop. Tears streamed down his face as he sang the line, "If my voice can keep you alive, Nene, then I will never be silent." The audience gasped. A woman in the front row covered her mouth, crying openly. Another judge wiped their eyes, nodding slowly, already overwhelmed. Simon Cowell leaned forward now, elbows on the table. His expression had changed completely. The skepticism was gone, replaced by something far more dangerous to a judge like him, emotion. His jaw tightened. His eyes shone under the stage lights. The final verse was sung together, the family holding hands. Their voices rose, not strong, but brave. When the last note faded, it didn't end sharply. It lingered in the air, trembling, refusing to leave. For a long moment, no one clapped. The silence was heavy, sacred. Then someone sobbed. And the entire theater rose to its feet. The judges stood. The audience roared. Tears fell freely, especially from the man known for never crying. Simon Cowell removed his glasses. And for the first time that night, he couldn't hide it. "When you're ready, I can write." The applause thundered through the theater, but the family barely heard it. They stood frozen on stage, holding each other, unsure if they were allowed to believe what was happening. Tears ran down their faces as they bowed their heads, overwhelmed. At the judges' table, emotions broke through every barrier. One judge stood first, clapping with shaking hands, eyes red and wet. That was not a performance, they said, voice breaking. That was real life. And it was beautiful. Another judge pressed a handkerchief to their face, unable to stop crying, nodding again and again as if words had failed them. Then all eyes turned to Simon Cowell. He sat completely still for a moment, staring at the family. Slowly, he reached up and removed his glasses. The audience gasped as they saw his eyes, filled with tears. Simon wiped his face, took a deep breath, and tried to speak, but no sound came out at first. He shook his head slightly, almost embarrassed by his own emotion. "I've heard thousands of songs," he finally said, his voice low and unsteady. "But I don't remember the last time one made me feel like this." His eyes returned to the family. "You didn't sing to win a competition. You sang to save someone you love." The crowd erupted again, louder than before. Simon leaned forward, pointing gently toward them. "Your poverty, your struggle, your journey from Cebu City to Ireland, it's all in your voices. And that honesty, you can't teach that." Tears rolled freely now, not only from the judges, but from audience members standing, hugging strangers beside them. The family sobbed openly, no longer trying to be strong. In that moment, the stage was no longer a competition. It was a shared human experience. And everyone knew something unforgettable was about to happen next. The theater was still echoing with applause when Simon Cowell slowly stood up from his chair. The room grew quiet again, sensing something extraordinary was about to happen. He looked at the family, still crying, still holding one another, and took a steady breath. "You came here with nothing," Simon said softly, his voice still trembling. "No money, no comfort, no certainty. But you brought something far more powerful, love." He paused, glancing toward the wings of the stage where their mother watched from a wheelchair, tears streaming down her pale face. Then Simon turned back to the judge's desk. His hand hovered over the golden buzzer. The family didn't realize what was happening until the moment the button was pressed. A loud bang echoed through the theater. Golden confetti exploded from above, raining down like sunlight. The audience screamed. The judges leapt to their feet. The family collapsed to their knees, sobbing uncontrollably as they were covered in gold. Their mother was brought onto the stage. Weak but smiling, she reached for her children, whispering their names. The crowd chanted as one, and even the toughest faces in the room were streaked with tears. "This is not just a yes," Simon said, wiping his eyes once more. "This is a promise, to your mother, and to everyone watching, that your voices will be heard." The family hugged their mother beneath the falling gold, Cebu City's heart beating loudly in an Irish theater. Poverty had followed them across oceans, but so had courage. As the lights dimmed and the music swelled, one truth filled the room. Hope had a sound. And tonight, it sounded like them. "If you'd like next, I can."